and welcome to What's the Score, where we examine all of your Hanover College sports action. I'm Matt, and joining me today is Jordan Bear. How you doing today, Jordan?
Matt, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on the show. It's really good to be here. Today on What's the Score, there's a lot to say about the winter sports as well as a preview of the spring sports on campus. Basketball season is in full throttle here at Hanover. Both the men and women's teams are soaring high above the competition. The men's team is 17-8 overall with a 14-4 conference record with key wins over Transylvania twice and rival Franklin. Leading the charge for the squad is senior Ryan Nowicki and sophomores Desmond Marks and Tim Bass.
Sophomore Tim Bass is having a tremendous season, averaging 13 points a contest while shooting 46% from the field. Not only a stats leader for the Panthers, he's also a vocal leader. Tim's here with us today to share his thoughts on the team and on his individual play. Tim, thanks for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Well, first off, last year you came in the second half of the season and you were named the starting point guard. Now you're the full-time starting point guard. So what's been the biggest transition you've had to make from your rookie year to now your sophomore year?
Well, coming in freshman year, you're new to everybody. Mm-hmm. You got a new system to learn. You got a new coach. You got to get, you got to know where people want the ball and stuff like that. So, I learned that, and this year I took it to another level. Coach asked me to do a little more, so I like it. I like my role on the team, and I got the ball in my hand a little bit more this year.
Well, I know you said you got the ball in your hands. I know earlier in the year against Anderson, you went off for 29 points. Yeah. Now, you dominated that game. So I guess my question is, what did you have to do to prepare to score 29 points in the game?
Well, Anderson was a special game. I had some friends that go there. My old roommate goes there from last year, and in there. My girlfriend goes there. It's close to home, so I had some family members come up. So I've been really mentally prepared for that one since the summertime.
So that game, you say that game's on your calendar?
Yeah, that was set. That was marked in July.
Oh.
All right, now Tim, I'm sorry if this is a sore subject, if it still is. This past Saturday, y'all played Rose-Hulman. Winner would be the top seed and would host the conference tournament.
Correct.
Came up a little short. You had a little mishappen during the game. My professional opinion, I'll be honest, the first one, it seemed like you just got emotional. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best, LeBron and everybody. The second one seemed like the ref just had it out for you and just wanted to get you for some reason because it looked like a bad call because those guys were bad. Give me what your perspective was on what happened.
Well, I'm an emotional player. You guys know that.
Right,
If we hit a big three, I'm going to jump up and down, so pretty much I let my emotions get the best of me. The first one, he called the call. I didn't agree with it. I said something verbally to him that, probably wasn't the right thing to say in the heat of the moment. And he made the call. I agreed with it. I didn't fight it. The next one, I don't really feel like I deserved it either, but, he's the ref. He's the man in charge. I looked at him after another call I didn't agree with. I didn't get a call. He was quick on his whistle, But it's a game. You win some, you lose some. I wish I would have got to play more in that game, but I'm lucky I didn't. I didn't get to play.
Well, let's hope those same referees aren't in the conference tournament.
That's true. Very true.
I'm sorry, Tim. Those guys are bad. And you're a bigger person than I am, which I applaud you for. Now, one thing, this weekend, it's going to be a tough tournament because, you got really good teams. You all got to play Transy first. Transy's a very, very good team.
Yep.
And so what do you all have to do, not only to beat Transy, but to win the whole tournament?
Well, Coach put up 7 keys that we have to, we have to attack this weekend, and if we attack all of them, we should win. Basically, I say we have to keep playing the way we've been playing. We won the last 12 out of 14 games. Right. We let a couple slip away from us, but if we play our style, I think we can win versus anybody in the country, honestly.
Right.
Well, dude, what I like about you right now is you did get ejected, you did get thrown out of the game, but yet that's past that's past you now, and now you're thinking to the conference tournament, and I know this weekend you're going to play some ball, and you're going to show us that you can play some ball just like you have all season, and I wish you the best of luck. But one last question.
All right.
Where do you see this team going in the next couple of years? You're just a sophomore, so you got 2 more years.
Well, for the 2 years that I've been here, we've been number 2 in the conference. I'd like to see us get to number 1, honestly. But some of the teams in our conference, Transy and Rose, are ranked in the nation. like to see us get there too. I think we're good enough. We stick with them every year, so we should be in the top of the nation here in a couple years. So
bring home that trophy, Tim.
Yeah.
Bring it home. Well, hey Tim, thanks for being on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
It's nice having you.
Pleasure. It's a
Bring
pleasure.
bring the championship back home.
Yes, sir. We'll do.
All right, now we're going to take a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to focus on the Lady Panthers and their successes on the court. So stay tuned.
My first question is, it being your final season at Hanover, you've played, 3 full seasons under Coach Jones. What what's your feelings for going through you right now, knowing that this is the last season you'll have a Hanover jersey on?
Oh, I really haven't thought about it for a specific reason, just because it will be the end of what I've been doing for such a long time. But I have taken away so much from this program, and it has molded me into a better person. And my goal right now is just to get that conference championship. Beyond that, doesn't matter at this point.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the conference. Last week, had a pretty bad setback at Transy. One of the worst losses I've personally ever seen y'all have. Looking back on a game like that, it seemed like a lot of things really went wrong with that game. After a really bad loss like that, was it hard for you to get ready for the next game? Because some people, after a loss like that, it can affect you for a really long time, and you can just be like, gosh, I can't believe this happened. Or were you able to, after that game, say, you know what, it's just one game, we got to get ready for Earlham, and y'all ended up doing really well against them. So was it hard for you to get ready?
For me personally, after I went home that night and I thought about it and brooded about it some more, the next morning I woke up, I came to the gym. It was done after that night. My focuses were on Earlham and trying to figure out what we can do to beat that next team and how we can grow from that loss. And that next day we actually had a team meeting and we rallied together, and we figured out that we were in the game, we were so focused on our individual performance, and maybe our sights were not on the right thing, and we decided that it was now or never to get together as a team collectively and to perform as best as we could for Earlham.
Do you feel not working as a team cost you that game at Transy?
Of course. It was miscommunication, it was not hustling, it was a lack of intensity. It was all team building aspects that we just didn't have that night.
Well, one final thing, Katie. Looking back, one last thing about all your years here, what's your favorite moment of playing for this program?
I think my favorite moment was when we came back from being down 28 points at halftime and against Center in Alabama. So clearly we did not have home court advantage. Down 28 in the locker room, and Coach comes in and she goes, we are so focused on our individual selves that we're not putting the team forward for the greater cause. And I think that really ignited something in each and every one of us. And the start of the second half, we came out with high intensity, and we were going after everything. And we were playing as a team, which I think that was such a milestone for this team this year, that we overlooked every other individual stat that we may or may not have had. And at the end of the game, we were just so happy. It didn't matter who was in. It didn't matter how many minutes you played or how many points you had. The scoreboard said it all. And I think that was just a terrific moment.
Well, Katie, thank you very much for joining me today. And you're obviously a terrific ball player. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life and this team for the last 2 years. And hopefully, at the end of this year, we'll be able to see you up in those banners up there.
Oh, thank you, David.
All right.
Okay, now Jordan. Katie obviously has been a tremendous leader, a tremendous aspect to this team. In fact, the last 2 games she scored over 20 points in each contest. And I think she was named Conference Player of the Week, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Now, with her being a senior, what loss does this prove to the team? What is the team going to lose with her gone?
Well, they're obviously, as the last week or two has shown, they're obviously going to lose a terrific scorer because she has the capability of scoring a lot. She has the capability of having a couple double-doubles as she's had the last week or so. And plus, most importantly, they're going to miss her leadership because when she's in practice, when I see her in practice, I see her out on the floor, she's the floor general out there. She's always getting the girls fired up. She's always the one being like, listen, this is what we have to do. You have to go here. Yes, it's the coach's job to tell them what to do. But at the same time, Katie also reemphasizes it. If something goes wrong in a drill, she tries to say something to make sure the coaches don't have to get onto them because that's her job. She's so good at her job, and she's just a terrific girl to be around, such a sweetheart, just, I mean, such a fun person to be around. And it will be a huge loss next year when we lose her. And Katie, just to you, thank you for everything you've done for this program, and we'll miss you.
Well, she'll definitely be missed. And now with the conference tournament coming up, Hanover's first game is this Friday, in fact, against Rose Holman.
Yeah.
How do you feel that they're going to do?
Well, I feel Rose, as you and I both saw last Saturday, Rose gave them a game. I mean, Rose had the lead, I believe, at halftime. And, you know, Hanover came out in the second half, started playing a lot better. Fact is, Hanover's got to come out right on the money, and they can't hold anything back. They've got to step on the throttle right as soon as the game starts. Because if they try to hold it back, Rose Holman's a team that can beat a team if you let them stick around for a while. I mean, they've beaten Transy this year at Transy, so they know what it takes to beat a good team. Hanover, I believe, is a good team. I believe that they can win these 3 games because if we beat Rose Holman Friday, we got those old Grizzlies from Franklin College the very next time. We all know how much we all love them. So in order for Hanover to win the tournament, they've got to not play selfish. They've got to not turn the ball over. They've got to rebound the ball. They cannot give up offensive rebounds. They've got to defend the basket. Got to shoot the ball a little better. Now, I understand sometimes it's harder to do that. Got to hit layups. Because, I mean, it seemed like, as you and I have seen the last few games, they can't hit a layup. I mean, come on. It's a layup. I mean, that's something you just got to do. So for them to win, they got to hit layups, got to D up. They got to not be selfish, cannot turn the ball over, got to make smart passes. They do all that, they can win. So
basically what you're saying is they just got to play classic Hanover basketball.
Exactly.
Pretty much. Again, the opening round game will be this Friday night against Rose Holman. Good luck, girls, and please bring home a conference championship back to Hanover College. Hanover's basketball seasons are just about finished, as the teams are gearing up for their conference tournaments. Our Sports Springs teams, however, are just beginning to practice and will soon be ready for competition. The Panther baseball team is looking forward to a championship-caliber season. Most of the starters are returning to the lineup. Andrew Roby, a junior pitcher for Hanover, feels this is one of the strongest teams in recent years. I was able to catch up with Andrew to hear his thoughts and whether a conference championship is possible.
On the show, man. Now, can you give us a little recap of last year? According to Coach Stock, you guys are moving in the right direction as far as after last year ended. So can you give us a little recap?
Well, last year as a young team, you come in and you have aspirations and hopes, and you want to be good, but you don't know how exactly everyone's going to perform with these new freshmen coming in and our sophomore class being inexperienced as well. So last year we came out and we competed hard, and we showed what hard work can do for a team, and we overachieved in the eyes of everyone. So hopefully we can continue that in the right direction, like Stock said.
Well, going in that right direction, what's going to have to be done this year to make the conference tournament, something that hasn't been done in the Hanover baseball program in quite a few years?
Well, we're going to have to hit a little better, pitch a little better, and play defense a little better, of course, the 3 things. But overall, our experience level is going to be increased. We're a senior-led group for the first time in a long time since we've been here. We have a bunch of juniors on the team who are experienced as well. There should be no problems, in all honesty, in us achieving what goals we want to for this season.
Now, I know last year Matt Brooks had a tremendous freshman campaign. Was first or second in the conference in hitting, was freshman Midwest Player of the Year. What is going to have to be his new role this season to get you guys to where you want to be?
Well, I don't know so much if he needs a new role, but he has to continue what he did last year. The kid is humble. He works hard. He's in here every day hitting. He's working on his game. He's hard in the weight room. He's tenacious. He's going to have to come in and play first base a little more this season with Grau's injury in the off season, and we don't know how Grau's going to come back yet. So Brooks is going to have to play a little more in the field, I believe. So he's going to have to work on his defense a little bit and step up there. But overall, I think he'll continue hitting at the clip that he did last year and set for himself.
Okay. And who are going to be some of the other players to watch out for this season, along with Matt Brooks and Cam Ginder and all those guys?
Well, Ryan Johns, one of the smoothest shortstops I've ever seen. He's a very good player, has a lot of power in his little frame, and I expect nothing less than big things from him this season. He works harder than anybody on the team. He's a great leader, soft-spoken kid. I think he'll do well this season.
Well, I know from listening to you, this team obviously has a lot of talent. So where do you see this team going this year?
Well, the projected polls came out, and they said that we would finish 5th amongst coaches, which is reasonable, I'm assuming, because Manchester won it last year. They're coming back strong. Anderson's always strong. Franklin, of course. But I see us in the top 4 for sure. I see us competing with everyone in the conference, and I see us making the tournament and perhaps even winning it if our luck's on our side.
Well, that's awesome. And now I know there has been one big change in the rotation this year, the injury to A.J. Ehrlich. So I guess now that's your spot. So how are you going to transition into being one of the big arms in this rotation?
Well, my freshman year I started out as a reliever, and that was new to me. I've always been a starter through high school, AAU ball, everything. I've been a starter. So sophomore year I got to come back and got the opportunity to start. Well, college baseball is a lot different, and my mental approach to the game wasn't right yet. So this summer, this off season, I've been working a lot on physical conditioning, getting my mental aspect where it needs to be for the season, and I believe that with my work ethic, I'll be able to fill the shoes. So.
You know, Matt, you've played on this team. You know a lot more about this team than I do. What Andrew said there, that's a bold statement, because baseball is something that really the school's not really known for as of late. I mean, last year they had a reasonable year, but nothing spectacular. Do you believe what Andrew said? Do you believe that this team can be a championship team?
Well, Jordan, I do believe that this team can be a championship team.
Okay.
They have all the tools. They have the senior leadership, like in Cam Ginder, who was a first-team all-conference pick last year.
Right.
They have the sophomore and junior role players, such as Matt Brooks, who you heard earlier, who was a first-team all-Midwest freshman selection. And they have Ryan Johns, who's also an outstanding talent.
Right.
And Coach Bump has told me that all of the freshmen are going to be able to step in and play early, and that's key for a freshman. See, my freshman year, we had over 40 guys. So, and over half the players, over 3/4 of the players, were freshmen and sophomores. So there was a lot of inexperience.
Right.
But now the team is full of juniors and seniors.
Right.
So there's
Of
full of
course.
experience.
Right.
And the thing to compete in baseball, it doesn't matter if it's high school, college, or professional baseball. The thing that you need to have are 2 really, really good starting pitchers, or you're not going to do anything.
Right.
And I think this year they have that in Andrew Roby and in Mitch Honeycutt, who, if you remember last season, Mitch was named Division III Pitcher of the Week.
Through a no-hitter,
yes, he did. So I think this team has the tools to get to the top, and I'm really pulling for him this year.
Well, Matt, that should be fun to watch. Spring is here, and that means the softball team is ready to steal home, as well as a winning season. This year's softball team looks to bounce back after an under-par 11-27 record last season. With senior all-conference players Lauren Krynas and Megan Priest gone to graduation, the team will rely on sophomores Danny Merrick and Leah Kemmerer to take charge due to loss of senior leadership. Kemmerer missed all of last season due to an elbow injury, but is projected to be one of the top pitches in the conference this year. The Panthers begin play on February 24th against the Rochester Institute of Technology in Orlando, Florida. Good luck, ladies.
Cinderella stories do come true, and this year it could come true for the lacrosse team as they contend for their first ever conference title. After their first full year of competition under their belts, the team is excited and motivated to do better this year. The Panthers finished a disappointing 1-8 in conference play, but hopes are high with most of the starters returning to the lineup. This team is full of young talent and should be fun to watch this season. The team opens up their season February 25th against Hendrix College.
Hole-in-ones are hard to come by, but the Hanover golf team will try to get a few of their own once play begins. The team will rely on junior Robert Bader. Bader returns to an experienced team after being named to the all-region team. Leading the way for the Panthers will be senior Marcus L., Bader, and sophomore Patrick Geary, all of whom paced Hanover to a 4th-place finish in last year's conference championship. After an impressive fall season, L was named Conference Player of the Week, after recording a top 10 finish at the Small College Classic. The spring season begins March 23rd when Hanover will take on Mount St. Joe.
With the help of a few seniors and a new transfer, could this be the year for HC men's tennis? Last year's team almost finished with a 500 record, but this year could be different. Senior Stephen Gilliam will lead an experienced team to try and contend for the title, but watch out for sophomore transfer Brian Clark to add some depth to this team. Clark has a powerful shot and should develop as the season moves forward. So come on out and support the tennis team as they begin their season March 16th at Wabash College.
In track, the women's team is having an impressive year. In fact, they're projected to win the conference title this year. In fact, they already have. Senior thrower Emily Boyd was recently named the HCAC Indoor Athlete of the Week. She broke a school record by throwing 14.11 meters, beating the rest of the field by over a meter. On Saturday, the track team took part in a tune-up match, setting 4 new records in the process. The conference championship was held last Saturday, and the women came out on top. Congratulations to the women. On the men's side, they finished 6th.
Thank you for tuning in to What's the Score, where we examine all of your Hanover College sports action. This spring will be filled with sports, both guys and girls, so come on out and support all of your Hanover College athletic teams. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.